Thanks for tuning in to Jam Happy Hour, benefiting Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. I'm Michelle, the M in Jam Sellers, that with my husband John, we started a decade ago. Sweet Relief is a nonprofit fund that provides financial assistance for career musicians and industry workers who are struggling to make ends meet. And with your help, over the next 12 months, Jam Sellers is committed to raising $25,000 for Sweet Relief. Simply listen in, comment, share, or like, and Jam Sellers will donate $1 up to $2,500 per show if you do. Plus, you can click or text to donate directly to Sweet Relief. So pour yourself a glass of butter Chardonnay and get ready to enjoy some new music. Cheers.
Cheers indeed. Welcome to the Jam Happy Hour on this Giving Tuesday, benefiting the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. My name is Jana, and I am thrilled for the next hour of music. Zandy Holop is jumping in with us from Nashville, Tennessee. How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm great. I love this hour of music, and even more so when it gets to benefit Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. With you, if you're not familiar with what Michelle just said, it is about protecting this beautiful industry that we're in as far as musicians. Back of the house, front of the house, it's such a beautiful fun to help continue live music doing what it does and live events as well. And I know we're going to get into your live music plans and we're going to jump into what's coming up. So many new and exciting things in the new year, but I always love to jump right in and kind of set the tone with Zandy and what we have to look forward to this hour. So what would you like to play for us first?
So I'm going to start out with a song called Mountain Man that I'm hoping to release sometime in the new year.
Oh, that's exciting. All right, well, here you go. Mountain Man kicking off the Jam Happy Hour with Zandy Holop.
He's free like the river that runs, and he needs fresh air in his lungs, and he leaves whenever he comes to get back to the sky and the land. Oh, he's strong like the rocks and the trees. He belongs somewhere far away from me, the kind of mysterious I'll never quite understand. He's a mountain man. He smells of wood smoke and needles of pine. There's dirt on those hands that'll hold me all night. I run my cold fingers slow through his beard, and I wonder if while he's dreaming he hears the wolf crying at that yellow moon. 'Cause if he does, he'll be leaving me soon. 'Cause he's free like the river that runs, and he needs fresh air in his lungs, and he leaves whenever he comes to get back to the sky and the land. Oh, he's strong like the rocks and the trees. He belongs somewhere far away from me, the kind of mysterious I'll never quite understand. He's a mountain man. His bed is the grass and his blanket's the stars. He lets the wind sing while he plays his guitar. Soon as I reach out to pull him in close, the voice in the woods calls him to come home. 'Cause he is free like the river that runs, and he needs fresh air in his lungs, and he leaves whenever he comes to get back to the sky and the land. Oh, he is strong like the rocks and the trees. He belongs somewhere far away from me, the kind of mysterious I'll never quite understand. He's a mountain man. Ooh. a peek. He tells me I'm beautiful, but he'll never choose me, 'cause he is free like the river that runs, and he needs fresh air in his lungs, and he leaves whenever he comes to get back to the sky and the land. Oh, he's strong like the rocks and the trees. He belongs somewhere far away from me, the kind of mysterious I'll never quite understand. He's the kind of mysterious I'll never quite understand. He's a mountain man.
Zandy Holop kicking off the Jam Happy Hour with us, and what a great way to kick things off to thank you so much for that song, Mountain Man, which you say is a little bit of the plan for the new year, and you're going to have a very busy new year from what I can tell.
Yes.
Are you going to get some time to kind of just like settle into the holidays right now, or is it just all systems go?
Well, I'm going to be taking some time off for the holidays for sure, but I honestly just love making music in general, so for me, I don't know. Of course, it's work, but at the same time, it's not. I love doing it. Like, I do it on my weekends. So,
Sure.
I mean, for me, I don't know. Like, it's always time off, but at the same time, there's no time off. So, you know.
As is life. For everybody jumping in this evening, thank you so much for joining us for a Sweet Relief Musicians Fun Jam Happy Hour. The fun that we get to have with this is for every comment, every like, every emoji, every share, we will donate $1. Jam Sellers will donate $1 on your behalf to the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. And the fun thing is, now that you know how fantastic Zandy is, sharing this will only further that. So make sure you're adding her to your playlists, as well as keeping an eye on her socials. And I'm looking at your Instagram right now, which you can find at Zandi Holup, and your self-described quick bio: sad, hippie, cowgirl, songwriter.
Yes, that's me.
Perfect. At what point did you start writing songs?
I started writing songs when I was 12 years old. I started doing little plays and stuff when I was younger. My mom put me in plays just because I was a little bit shy, and she wanted me to come out of my shell.
That's interesting, because usually like the theater kids are like the kids that aren't shy.
Well, I think my mom's thoughts were like, put her in theater so she becomes one of those kids. So
I love that, Mom.
Yes, Mom wanted me to be on the stage. And even when I started, though, I was still very kind of timid and held back when I was singing. And my mom had a singing teacher for me, and she would always tell me to be louder. And I was just super, super quiet. But I honestly found my voice once I started writing songs. That's when I felt like I had a voice that I wanted to use when I sang, because it felt like I actually had something to say when I sang, and I could use my own voice. So
really interesting. Yeah. There's such a songwriters gang is not the right word. There's such a songwriters mentality in Nashville. A lot of people get together and they write songs together. They share their songs. They share, I love it. But I found it very interesting that you found your voice through songwriting. And I have to wonder, like, did any of your influences kind of growing up do the same? Like, who were you listening to? Who were you really just like, oh, this person moves me?
Well, growing up, my dad would play a lot of Bob Dylan. My aunt would listen to like Joan Baez, Joni Mitchell. So I heard a lot of folk influence growing up.
Definitely songwriters.
Definitely songwriters. And my aunt writes songs as well as my dad, my grandma, my whole family kind of writes songs. No one's ever really taken it to a professional level like I have, but they've all done songwriting. And then as I just started to kind of like grow into my own and discover the computer and such, I I was able to find country music, and I started listening to like Dolly and Loretta Lynn, just all the greats. And yeah, it just really inspired my songwriting. And I feel like a lot of the artists that I grew up listening to have inspired my really honest take on songwriting, that sometimes is brutal honesty, but I really heard that in a lot of the people that I looked up to. So that's kind of how I write songs.
It's a super vulnerable place too. It's like, some people write from, their actual in the moment instances, and then other people will, see situations and write from that. I've always thought it's a very open place to write, some of the words, and your songs absolutely, come across in that authentic. The Merriam-Webster dictionary song of word of 2023 is authentic, and I think it's something that we all crave. And how fun is it for you to be able to put that out there for people to enjoy?
I mean, it's amazing when I write songs. It feels like just such an experience for me because I love portraying emotions and telling stories. I think that's personally what I was meant to do on this earth, was just to kind of put other people's emotions and stories into a place where maybe they could access them. And so sometimes when I write songs, they come from direct experiences in my life. Sometimes I see another person's experience and feel completely connected in it, and I can write from that place because I think we can all find ourselves in everybody's experience. Sure. I think we're all so much more alike than we realize. We can see a piece of our story in everybody's story. And then also I can even just see just randomness in my head. I love to create. I've always been a really imaginative thinker. So to me, songwriting is just the most incredible thing to do with my brain because I'm able to just take all these emotions from a hodgepodge of different places and just kind of put them into a piece that could maybe evoke all. So
I feel like that is the perfect transition into our second song here in the Jam Happy Hour. And while we get prepared for that, reminding everybody to please, if you got requests, if you got questions, if you just want to put up your favorite emoji, keep it clean. We're going to donate $1 on your behalf for the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. Here with Zandy Holop. What would you like to play for us next?
This next song I'm going to play is called Wildflower.
Wildflower here in the Jam Happy Hour. Zandy, take it away.
Yes. I wrote this song because when I was younger, I had a really hard time making friends. I was always the weird kid at school. And to be completely honest, I'm still kind of the weird kid at school, even though I'm not in school anymore. And yeah, it was something that I used to be really, really insecure about. But over time, I learned to kind of accept my weirdness and embrace it as something beautiful. And to me, that's what a wildflower is. It's this plant that is found in an obscure place, but it's actually really beautiful once you take the time to look at it. So yeah, this song's called Wildflower. Ever since first grade, felt so out of place on the swing set all alone. I'm in church and sometimes I just wonder what they all know that I don't. Fight with my parents, just like cats and dogs. Sometimes I'll keep them up all night. I'll wear my Sunday best, but it never fit quite right. You can find me growing with the weeds, my long hair blowing in the breeze. Forever young, forever free. God broke the mold when he made me. I was born to run, don't belong to anywhere or anyone. And when it rains, it pours, but that's my finest hour. I'm a wildflower. I was never dainty like a rose or sunny like a marigold. I was made for the meadow, in the cracks of rocks, old fences by the road. I don't belong in a vase, sitting pretty on a windowsill, 'cause I'm me growing with the weeds, my long hair blowing in the breeze, forever young, forever free. God broke the mold when he made me. I was born to run, don't belong to anywhere or anyone, and when it rains it pours, but that's my finest hour. I'm a wildflower. So make a wish upon a dandelion. Don't forget that little girl who watched her dreams get blown like seeds upon the wind into the world. Imperfectly made perfect, but just right by heaven's hand. Maybe always being different was just all part of the plan. You can find me growing with the weeds, my long hair blowing in the breeze, forever young, forever free. God broke the mold when he made me. I was born to run, don't belong to anywhere or anyone, and when it rains it pours, but that's my finest hour. And when it rains it pours, but that's my finest hour. 'Cause I'm a wildflower. I'm a wildflower.
It's so fantastic to have you here in the Jam Happy Hour with Zandy Holop.
Thank you.
Yeah, you talk about, writing songs and the fact that everybody can kind of find their own place in them. I think that's the coolest thing, that, sometimes you can hear a song and everybody's going to relate to it. But I also find the flip side of that is people will hear a song and sometimes hear something completely different than what you meant when you wrote that song. And that's got to be kind of an interesting thing. Like when you talk with people about your music and they hear something completely different, are you ever like, whoa, that's not what I meant? Or you're just like, okay, well, that's what it gave to you.
It really depends. I think for me, as you'll probably hear later on in the set, a lot of my songs are about, I would say, like heavy topics.
Right.
So people will, I think it's a little harder for me when people kind of assume every single little line is like about my life. Because then that's when it can be a little hard for me, where I'm like, I want people to interpret things the way they want to, because I believe art is for people to kind of use for their own interpretation, because maybe the way that I see a story isn't the way that someone else sees a story, or the emotion that story gives me isn't the same emotion it gives them. But the only time I'll sometimes say something is when maybe people are misinterpreting something to be about my life, and at the end of the day, you can't really
I see what you're
debunk
saying.
Everything in a way, but like
some of them you're like, no.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, no, like that's kind of, it's a piece of art. Like there's artist license within every song that is written. But I always say that like every song that I write has a piece of me in it, and some have bigger pieces of me. Like Wildflower, I would say, has a pretty big piece of who I am, because it's a pretty personal story. But that's kind of what I would say about that particular matter.
The music industry as a whole is a pretty small place, which a lot of people I don't think realize. A lot of us are all intermingled in a way, and you have found your way into quite the amazing family earlier this year when you signed your record deal. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Greg Thompson, I've worked with for many years, and you've got an incredible team of people behind you. How does it feel to be a part of the Big Loud machine?
Well, being part of Big Loud Records is really, really an honor to me. I feel so blessed. Nate Yetton is the person who signed me to Big Loud Records. He basically, I actually came into his office with my guitar, and I
The
played.
quintessential, like, no nerves at all.
No nerves. Actually, it's kind of funny though. I wasn't that nervous because I try to. This might sound super corny, but I'm super spiritual. I have a lot of faith in like whatever's meant for me will be meant for me, and I just don't really. I don't know. I try not to let nerves ever get in the way because I just believe that whatever I'm supposed to have in my life is gonna come. So yeah, I went into his office and I just kind of got to know him, and I played him some of my songs, and he really liked my songs, and yeah, he wanted to sign me to the record label, and I just feel blessed because I know that Big Loud Records is really trying to have a huge voice in music in general, because they want to come out of the box. They want to be open-minded. They just really want to expand music in general, and they're really, really artist-friendly. They really believe in artists and what artists have to say, what they want to do with their music, and I've felt extremely supported in every way, where they just want me to basically continue creating my art, and they want to give me all the tools that I need to facilitate that.
Yeah, the tools that come along with it are, just immeasurable. But also, I think, like you said, there's like a shift happening, and not just in Nashville. I kind of feel it like all over the industry, and it started in the pandemic, where everything had to change immediately. And all of a sudden, there was a different kind of mold as far as making your music, putting your music out there, sharing your music, sharing with other artists. Like, everybody was like home alone, but not, because we were connecting through other ways. Albeit how the Jam Happy Hour was born, just to kind of get together and share what you know. And I've said this in other episodes, no place other than Nashville does it quite the way that they do. And it is, it's really cool to like see you coming up through it and having, such a great impact. I know there's a lot more coming up in 24, and I definitely want to get into that, but I would love to hear another song, if you don't mind, here in the Jam Happy Hour, benefiting Sweet Relief. So make sure you're still commenting along and sharing. However this song makes you feel, find the perfect emoji and just pop it up on the screen, because when you do that, we're going to donate $1 on your behalf to the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. With Zandy Holup here this evening, what would you like to play for us next?
The next song I'm going to play is called Mary Jane.
Mary Jane it is, here in the Jam Happy Hour. You guys hear Zandy Holop.
So this song is called Mary Jane, and I actually wrote this song about someone I know who struggled with heroin addiction for a really long time. And they are sober now, and I'm so proud of that person. And I just wanted to write this song to kind of celebrate the hard journey that they went through to get to where they are today. So yeah, this song is called Mary Jane, and I hope you like it. He was a quiet boy in 7th grade. She had a little red streak in her twisted braids. He was curious and asked, "What's your name?" Her green eyes answered, "Mary Jane." They met up Friday after school. He lit her up, she made him feel cool. He could hurt all night and not feel pain, just looking at the stars with Mary Jane. She got him to grow up fast, that innocence you don't get back. The way he saw the world started to change. Felt so good when she was around, but every up took him further down, and he ain't ever really been the same since Mary Jane. He met her hippie friends one day, wide-eyed singing touch of gray. They took trips real far away and were wilder than Mary Jane. There was a girl on the road with a tempting face. She rode a white horse and they found a place where she put a craving in his veins. Now he don't even talk to Mary Jane. She got him to grow up fast, that innocence you don't get back. The way he saw the world started to change. Felt so good when she was around, but every up took him further down, and he ain't ever really been the same. Yeah, since Mary Jane he went from high school straight to state rehab. 17 to 35, life of the party to barely alive. Now he's in the Church of Redeeming Grace. Some people cry, some people pray. There's folding chairs and coffee made, and chips to count their day by day. That they quit that Mary Jane. Yeah, they all quit that Mary Jane. He was a quiet boy in 7th grade. She had a little red streak in her twisted braids.
The visuals in that song are actually like really strong. Like it's like you can almost like see them like walking through school, and then like when you write those songs. And again, for those of you who are following along, Mary Jane here with Zandy Holop, do you picture stuff kind of along the way, like the story in your head a little bit, or is it just like it's a very free flow kind of a thing?
You know, I do see a lot of pictures. When I wrote that song in particular, I basically had this idea where I wanted to personify drugs, to make it like this thing that the person was in love with. So that each drug that he met was a person. And it was, so it basically goes from drug to drug as if they are a person that they're making almost like an intimate connection with.
Right.
And so when I was writing that song, I basically, I was just kind of thinking about all of that. And then my friend Daniel 𝗟𝗓𝗓, who ended up co-writing it with me, I kind of showed him what I had so far, and we just really kind of dove in and went deeper on those images. And kind of really brought it to life to be what it is.
Not a double entendre, but like double meanings behind like all the names and the people and the places. Ooh, it's very clever, Zandy Holop.
Thanks.
I like that. I was reading some of the comments, and by the way, do continue to do them and throw them up, because every time you do, we'll donate $1 to the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund on behalf of Jam Sellers for you. Andy had tossed up the comment, can't wait for the album. What's coming up in the new year?
So there's no exact dates on the album release or the songs release yet, but there will be many songs released in the new year for sure. This year, there's definitely going to be a lot of songs being released. I was in the studio a couple months back, kind of getting things started. So yeah, I mean, I'm currently in the studio finishing things up. So lots of songs are going to be released. Mary Jane will be one of those songs. Mountain Man will be one of those songs. Wildflower will also be one of those songs. So
very
yeah.
exciting. How hard is it to have these already ready to go? Like, and for some people, they'll just go straight to their playlists and just boop, and off it goes into the universe. How hard is it to know that you have them and they're ready to go, and you have to still just like hang on to it? You got to get the timing right. You got to do everything, like what's going to work best for you and for getting the music out. But it's got to be so hard to be like, hi. Okay.
It can definitely be difficult sometimes. It's also interesting because, these pieces are always, at least for me, they're usually just written with me and a guitar, or me and a couple other people and a guitar. So, and when you produce these songs on a larger scale, you want to really make sure you're getting the right feeling, because if you produce it in the wrong way, the true emotion of the song can be lost and not conveyed properly. So I think that's also part of it, like being patient in that process. For the songs that I just mentioned that I recorded, me and my producer spent months working on pre-production to really hone in exactly what instrumentation and parts we wanted, just because we wanted to stay true to the songwriter aspect of everything.
Yeah, you definitely don't need this wall of sound behind you to share the song and the story and the emotion of what that is. So
yes.
Yeah, I guess unless you spend a lot of time in the studio, you don't realize how many layers goes into that. Take us through a typical day in the studio for you.
Well, a typical day in the studio, it's kind of different every day. There's different types of days in the studios. When you're tracking a song, usually you'll have the full band in there, and you'll kind of get to discussing what the song's feeling is, what kind of sound we're looking for, and we will sometimes show a little bit of our pre-production demo that we made just to kind of give a little bit of an idea. So that's what we'll usually begin doing. We start, then all the musicians begin to play, and we kind of all just come together, and then sometimes we will isolate different people and hone in their part. Maybe the guitar player will say, hey, like we want you to do this different thing here, or the drummer like, hey, let's try something else here, and we'll kind of just have a little powwow, get all the parts down. And every musician obviously does this differently, and every producer does this differently, but that happens. That's one of the days in the studio.
That's gonna be like fun. That's almost like, like musical baking. Like, we're gonna put a little sugar in here, we're gonna put a little flour over here, we'll throw in a little extract over here, and just kind of see how it all comes out.
100%. And that's the thing, like everyone bakes differently in a way. Even when everyone cooks, some people cook in a more spontaneous way, some people cook more methodically. I like to kind of do like a mix of both. Like, I like to have all my stuff methodically set out and then allow spontaneity to kind of come into the mix, rather than like not know what I'm doing at all. It's almost, at least for me, more enjoyable for spontaneity when there's more of a structure behind it.
It's a metaphor for life, Zandy.
Love that.
And
I need to take that then.
Y'all may not know this, but Zandy is actually quite the cook. We were talking before the show. You did the whole Thanksgiving spread.
Yes.
That's bold.
I
ordered all mine from Honey Baked.
Well, I will say, when I was younger, every time I would taste Thanksgiving, I was always like, this is good, but I would do this part differently. And I would always have like different like critiques in my head, like I was a Chopped judge or something.
Nice.
I was like, I could do this differently. And so then finally I came to a conclusion where I was spending Thanksgiving alone for my first time, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this ditty myself. Aww. So I did. And then it's just carried out for years. So
I love that. I think the first Thanksgiving I spent by myself, I ended up at Cracker Barrel because I kept burning everything. But
not
that's
a bad
also
place to end up.
Not a bad place to have Thanksgiving. If you're ever stuck on the road, or I highly recommend it.
Yes.
I think I was working like out in Missouri at the time, and I was just missing like Southern home cooking. And I was like,
nothing gets me like a good Cracker Barrel breakfast. Oh my gosh.
We can
I will tell you. I will tell you.
And now they serve mimosas, so we can serve up some butter bubbles and, just have a lovely time with it.
Best of both worlds.
It is the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You talked about, you grow up in like Pennsylvania and now you find yourself in Nashville. How's the culture shock been a little bit as far as kind of like Nashville's such a unique place. And it's such a great place, but do you still find yourself kind of like navigating the waters, or you're like, this is where I'm supposed to be 100%?
I definitely feel like I'm supposed to be in Nashville 100%. I love being here. It's just the perfect place for this time of my life. I've been down here for 6 years. The biggest culture shock I had was, I guess, just how like nice Southerners are. My grandma. Okay. Yeah, my grandma's a Southerner. She's really. Well, no, like actually though, like I actually meant that. I wasn't like saying that in like a sarcastic way.
Oh, not that.
Like,
you're not in your bless your heart kind of way.
Not in a bless your heart kind of way.
Oh, okay.
Like, one thing about us Northerners is like we kind of keep it really real. Like I say like exactly what I mean.
Bless that.
Yes, I'm very blunt, and that's something I also learned. Like sometimes I'm so blunt that people are like, "Whoa," and I'm like, "Oh, I just don't really realize it." That's been a culture shock for me for sure, just because I'm so used to that like brutal honesty. Because like I'm from Pennsylvania, I lived in New Jersey with my family for a while. I spent time in New York, so like I've just seen so much of that tough energy, and I feel like sometimes even in my songwriting, like that's where some of my honesty comes from, just because
I love it.
It's just kind of the culture up there is like that bluntness, and there's something beautiful about it, but there's also something like not beautiful about it. And it's really honestly refreshing to just see people be really kind to each other down here. I love it so much how kind everybody is to each other. And I just feel like one thing that really, really made me smile when I first moved here was how everyone just says hello to everybody. Even if you don't know someone, like a stranger's your friend. And that's something I have personally picked up since moving to Nashville. I love treating every stranger as a friend.
Yeah, because they're not your friend yet. So, everybody starts on that even playing field. I do want to talk about leaving Nashville, though. Touring, live music, what's to come. But now it feels like a great time to jump into our fourth song here this evening in the Jam Happy Hour with Zandy Holop. If you are enjoying it, please make sure you're sharing and liking and commenting so we can donate to the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund on your behalf, $1 for each one of those. But also musically, like add her to your playlists and just make sure you continue to tell your friends about this amazing talent that you found here with us. What would you like to play for us next?
So speaking of adding me to the playlist, I am actually going to play one of the songs that I have written that is out right now. This is the first song that the record label has released of mine. It's called Gas Station Flowers. And yeah, I'm going to play that for y'all.
All right, Gas Station Flowers. Here's Zandy Holop in the Jam Happy Hour.
I'll take you drunk, I'll take you stoned. I'll take you back long as you come home. I'd rather go through hell than let you go, 'cause those gas station flowers are better than being alone. Quick stop sack in your left hand, lucky strikes hot on your breath, a scratch off ticket and a 16-ounce high life can. Bet you saw them in the checkout line. Carnations $3.99, a cellophane wrapped afterthought, but hey, that's fine, at least they're mine. 'Cause I'll take you drunk, I'll take you stoned, I'll take you back long as you come home. I'd rather go through hell than let you go, 'cause those gas station flowers are better than being alone. They'll only last a couple days, just like the promises you break. But when we're making love, it makes the bad times seem okay. You bring your demons there, sitting pretty in a pipe. But am I any better when I'm sleeping next to mine? 'Cause I'll take you drunk, I'll take you stoned, I'll take you back long as you come home. I'd rather go through hell than let you go, 'cause those gas station flowers are better than being alone, being alone. I could hide your shoes, I could hide your keys, but I know that you'll always find a way to leave. I'll be the welcome that you need to wipe all that bullshit off your feet. I know it's sick, I know it's weak, but it's been too long, I'm in too deep. You'll probably be the death of you, and you'll be the death of me. 'Cause I'll take you drunk, I'll take you stoned, I'll take you back long as you come home. I'd rather go through hell than let you go, 'cause those gas station flowers are better than being alone, being alone, being alone.
How great is it to have that out and about and have people reacting to it in the way that they are, to know that you've gone through the whole process and now, here it is for the world to enjoy. Is it hard to let it go and become something else, or is it just all pride?
At the end of the day, like I started out making music for myself, but now I really feel like I make music for the people that listen to my music. So like I want to just make what people want to hear. And like, I don't know, like this song was highly requested on the internet. Like I wasn't even planning on releasing this song at first.
Really?
I had just put it up on the internet and it went like viral, as people say. So yes, I still don't know what that really means. It's so relative. But I'm like, what is viral? I still don't really know.
A lot of people like it all at once.
Yeah. So I guess that kind of happened. And it wasn't a piece that I was originally on my radar to put out. But at the end of the day, like the people that listen to my music spoke and they basically told me that they wanted to hear this song and that they connected to this song. So I'm always happy to let it go, because like that's what's important to me, is the people that are listening to my music. If they want it, then like I want them to have the song. So that's kind of how I feel. Yeah.
It's interesting in, what we're seeing right now in the industry is like a lot of genres are kind of blending. You've got Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs on the top 40 chart. You've got, a lot of Americana kind of popping up in the hot AC world. Like your songs kind of have like a multi-genre kind of a tone to them. Is that just purely because that is your sound and that's your influence, that's what you kind of grew up with? Or is it something a little more strategic in the fact that you don't want to be pigeonholed in any kind of a thing? Because it's a very unique sound is what I'm trying to say.
Well, thank you. It's funny you say that, because for a while I felt like nobody understood what I was doing because it's different. And I didn't even understand what I was doing. This is kind of what comes out when I write songs. It just, right. I don't really try to be different, quote unquote. I think I've always just been a different person in general. Like I stick out like a sore thumb in many areas of my life. And that's just kind of who I am, I think. And so it's kind of followed me with my music too. There's really nothing strategic about the writing in that regard. I just kind of write what comes to me. And yeah, there's really nothing to it in terms of that. Like I don't think when I write songs about a purpose of why, in a way. I just kind of let it come out and let the muse take over. And then at that point, people can tell me if they enjoy what I've created. So then if not, then I'll just try again.
Then I'll just do it again. Yeah.
Let's write another song.
Try again. It's an interesting time, though, not only for females in music and specifically in Nashville. I know Leslie Fram is a follower of yours, and what she's doing over at CMT is absolutely, phenomenal. But a lot of the female artists that are coming up together and supporting each other, are you feeling that as well in your journey?
I feel like, personally, I've always felt extremely strong about female empowerment. And I definitely have girlfriends around me that I can trust. I think nice. I have a lot of girls that I love and that are true friends of mine in the industry. My friend Stephanie, she is one of the co-writers on Gas Station Flowers. So for me, I think it's super important to lift other women up in this industry, just because, sometimes it's been a little difficult for women in entertainment. So I try to be, useful in that regard. And I always say, if anybody ever wants to chat with me, any gals want to talk to me, I'm down to always, meet up, talk to them if I have time, or if I just can send them a message, whatever works. I'm super women for women, love
leading right into my next comment. With social media these days, it's an interesting thing. It's friend or foe. It's yes, you are immediately attainable at any time, because I'm assuming you're still doing your socials, and you see these messages come in, and it's oh, it feels like a very personal connection. And at the same time too, you have to realize it's a tricky sword, because it's not this personal connection. But I think ultimately you can kind of cut through the BS, and you can see again, there's the word authentic and who's not. So I think it's really cool. If somebody's listening and they're curious and they want to know more about the industry or what's worked for you, that's awesome that you're hey, just, DM me, reach out. I'll hit you back if I can, busy making this whole new album and all this music over here. But that's, again, lifting each other up and taking care of each other, which I think is pretty awesome. I love to do a little rapid fire.
Yes.
So you don't get to think.
Oh gosh, I'm nervous for this, but okay.
It's fun.
Rapid,
it's totally
anything.
Fun.
I'm oh.
Totally fun. All right. So when it comes to vacation, mountains or beach?
Mountains.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm a mountains girl. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love me a Costa Rican beach.
But yeah.
I do. But mountains, I don't know. I'm a mountain girl. I sang a song called Mountain Man,
Well, there's that. Always a good idea. Dream venue to play.
Dream venue to play, Red Rocks. Isn't that everyone's dream venue?
It is,
feels
actually.
So typical. I feel so basic saying that. Sorry.
But no,
it's kind of
right.
Dream,
I think every artist has said Red Rocks, honestly. And
it's
I
really
too.
Funny.
If I want to speak on any stage, it would be Red Rocks.
Yeah.
When you get all up there and perfectly aligned, touring your 5th album, and, all the things are great. Is it tour bus or private jet?
I would say tour bus, because I'm a bit of a green girly,
Oh yes.
I want to save the world.
Sad hippie songwriter.
Yeah, exactly. That's the hippie in me. I'm a little bit of a green girly, so whatever I can do to help the environment in my little ways, I try. So.
I just saw that Virgin Airlines just flew a flight today on cooking oil.
Oh. Well, then, yay.
So hang on.
So I can just keep on cooking. I need to just make more Thanksgiving and then put it on the plane.
We have got to connect you with Richard Branson. This is all coming together beautifully. I would love to jump in on another song here in the Jam Happy Hour, as it is almost only 10 minutes left, and we need more music out of you. If you guys are enjoying the music tonight with Zandy Holop, please do continue to comment, like, and share so we can donate $1 on your behalf to the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. It goes by so fast. We probably have 2 more songs left in us. So what would you like to play for us next?
I'm going to play a song of mine called Runs in the Family.
All right. Well, here's Runs in the Family with Zandy Holop in the Jam Happy Hour.
So yeah, this song, it's called Runs in the Family. And I don't know about you, but I feel like so many things run in my family. There's some good things that run in my family, and there's also some pretty bad things that run in my family, but that's kind of every family. And I think you kind of just got to take the good with the bad. And when you see something negative, that's kind of your job to change it so that you don't keep that cycle going. So yeah, the song is called Runs in the Family. Grandpa liked grain alcohol and women way too much. That trailer park small town boy never quite grew up. The hitting and the cheating, the quitting and the leaving. The apple didn't fall far from the tree. I guess it runs in the family. Daddy had a hard life. He grew up way too fast, taking care of business he shouldn't have. Generation to generation, same old shit, new iteration. He yelled at me like they yelled at him in the Navy. I guess it runs in the family. But I've got Daddy's temper and his heart of gold. I'm an overspender, and from what I'm told, I got my mama's lips and anxiety, all the things she tried to fix. So the irony is that it runs in the family. Do 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 do. It runs in the family. Mama thought that being perfect was the way to live her dreams. Then she married Daddy, so she tried to live through me. If I could just be skinny, buttoned up so prim and pretty, I could marry up, see a world she didn't see. I guess it runs in the family. But I've got Daddy's temper and his heart of gold. I'm an overspender, and from what I'm told, I got my mama's lips and anxiety, all the things she tried to fix. So the irony is that it runs in the family. Do 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 do. It runs in the family. I might do it differently, 'cause I'm making my own way. I learned the good from them, but I learned from their mistakes. So I'm fighting off my demons that are coming straight for me. I know it's hereditary, but I'm trying to break free from what runs in my family. Do 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 do. It runs in the family. Do 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 do. It runs in the family.
Another great example of sharing your story, but also allowing us to put our story into it too. I'm sure we all could write our own runs in the family list of traits that we get from all around that creates, you know, the amazingness that we are and that you are. Zandy Holop joining us here in the Jam Happy Hour, benefiting Sweet Relief on this hashtag Giving Tuesday. So thank you for all of your comments, your likes, your shares, and a lot of really great comments coming through. People excited about the music, and what better way to enjoy music than to see it live? What are your touring plans for the new year?
Well, I'm really, really excited because I'm going to be going overseas in March.
Nice.
So I'm really excited about that. I'm going to be going to London and Germany for some shows. So that's really, really exciting.
Have
to
you
me.
ever been?
No, I've never been to London or Germany.
You're gonna
I've only
love it.
been to islands out of the country, so I've never been to like Europe or anything like that. So I'm pretty jazzed.
You're gonna love it. I think the first time I went overseas, I was like in my mid-20s, and I'd gone to London for music. I went to see a concert, and my mind was so blown by how big the world actually was. And here I'd just been living my little like U.S. existence, and I just thought it was so cool. And I came back and I was obsessed with all these new bands. Because at the time, the Backstreet Boys were big over there, not here. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Prodigy, obviously Oasis. So I came back with this whole new like box of things I couldn't wait to unpack. I feel that is exactly what's going to happen to you too. I think you're going to have so many amazing new experiences.
I'm so
and while
excited.
I would love to travel to London or Germany to see you, sprechen Sie Deutsch, but what about the U.S.? Your plans to maybe get out a little bit more in 24?
Definitely going to be playing some more shows in 24. The US dates are going to be announced at some point, but right now, just kind of focusing on getting the music out. And once the music is out, more dates are going to be announced.
So exciting. It's just going to be such a great year. Like mentally, how do you psych yourself up for, okay, this is what I've been working for all this time and we are on this cusp. Here we go. Like, you ever stop and just go, oh man, here we go?
I mean, yeah, every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, every day. I honestly like try to remind myself and like during my meditations every day that I'm so blessed and lucky, and like I try to remember every day that I'm living my dreams and I get to do music as a job. Like that's literally everything I've ever wanted, and I just try to really be thankful for what I have and do my best to spread that love and give back to others where I can. So yeah.
Well, we love the songwriting. We love your voice. We love getting to spend time with you. We have time for one more song here in the Jam Happy Hour, presented by Jam Sellers. How would you like to take us out?
I'm going to take us out with a song called The Things I'll Never Forget. This is a song about addiction, and it kind of tells a story that I took from multiple points in life, some myself, some people I know, some imagined, and it kind of became what this is. And yeah, it's just a piece that tells a story of a family with addiction.
Things I'll Never Forget?
Yes, Things I'll Never Forget.
Awesome. Thank you. Here's Zandi Holup in the Jam Happy Hour.
It was the third grade daddy-daughter dance. All the daddies held their daughters' hands, and I waited at the door 'cause you promised me that you would come. I guess that you just didn't care, 'cause when I got home I saw you there. You were sitting at the table with your pomos and your beer. I was jealous of the things that took you away from me. You broke my heart, so I broke your cigarettes. Poured that whiskey down the drain till there was nothing left. You're saying that you love me, but not enough to quit. All the things you don't remember are the things I'll never forget. I chose my morals, raised myself, learned not to depend on no one else. Just a blue-collar girl, talk to Jesus when I need a friend. When I bring someone home, put up my guard. I'll give my body, not my heart, 'cause I know they're gonna leave just like how you did to me back then. But they'll never fill your shoes or ever take the place of you.
cigarettes. Poured that whiskey down the drain till there was nothing left. You're saying that you love me, but not enough to quit. All the things you don't remember are the things I'll never forget. Last Friday in my driveway, I saw your busted Pontiac. I looked right in your eyes and said, leave and don't come back. 'Cause you broke my heart, so I broke your cigarettes. Poured that whiskey down the drain till there was nothing left. You're saying that you love me, but not enough to quit. All the things you don't remember are the things I'll never forget. It was the third grade daddy-daughter dance. All the daddies held their daughters' hands, and I waited at the door 'cause you promised me that you would come.
Okay, wow. Andy, I need a hug now. Jeez.
I always say my songs are the ones that no one smiles when they hear them. It's usually a tear
You know,
vibe,
it's
to
like-
shoebox vibe.
Dick, you get halfway through the song, you're like, oh, I like this. And all of a sudden it's like, and you're like, oh, crap. Oh, wait. I mean, okay, I get this on a different level now. Wow. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Especially the things you don't remember are the things I'll never forget. I think that's going to hit a lot of people square in the heart. Thank you. Thank you for your time and your talent. Thank you for being here with us and raising some money for the Sweet Relief Musicians Fund. I hope everybody's enjoyed, whether they've been sipping back, enjoying their butter wine, or just having some water and listening to you tell your stories. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. You're always welcome to come back, and we look forward
Thank
to
you.
watching your career take off.
This was such a wonderful experience. I'm so glad to be part of Jam Happy Hour with to benefit Sweet Relief Musicians Fund, and I hope I'm really sending out my heart to anybody who's in need right now. So yeah, I'm just thank you for everyone who tuned in tonight and sent comments and such.
And make sure you follow along and keep up with Zandy. It's going to be a very busy new year for her. And cheers to you. We look forward to it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.